Hi, I'm Sam Strohkorb. I went on a course this summer, just about a month ago, and I'd like to share a story of one of the ways that the Lord impacted me on this trip. So, on the third night of the trip, we were doing this devotional that represents a burden that is between ourselves and God. And we had an interaction piece to this that kind of physically represented this burden. And as I was sitting with my group, these people that I've been living with for these last 3 days, cooking, eating, sleeping, spending my whole life with, I got to share this thing that I felt the Lord put onto my heart. Because as I was sitting there at that moment and thinking, what's a burden that's between me and the Lord? It's that I wanted to process all of my emotions on my own without any help from the Lord or even from other people for that matter. So in that moment, it's like, okay, I want to invite the Lord into this. So I opened up to my group and I said, hey, I feel like I'm processing my emotions without God, and I want to invite God into that process. And those people, my now friends, came around me, prayed for me, and I really felt in the presence of the Lord and that He was with me in this moment. And it was really impactful that I could do this. So fast forward, everyone's shared, and suddenly we have a surprise night rappel. It's already like 11:30 midnight at this point, pitch black, and we're gonna go do this rappel. And so I let a few students go first because they're very anxious to go, and suddenly my anxiety starts rising in my chest. I feel this nervousness. And suddenly I ask, hey, can I go next? And the other students are like, yeah, sure, go ahead. So I get hooked up to the rappel, and there's a practice portion of the rappel, and I do that first practice maneuver, and I'm terrified. I'm like almost shaking physically. I just didn't want to be there. I even vocalized like, I don't want to do this, get me off this thing. And then I thought for a moment, I'm like, what did I just say? What did I just promise and want to do with the Lord? I want to process all of my emotions with Him. So in that moment, as I'm remembering that, I just thought, and I'm like, Lord, help me get down. just help me get off this thing. And internally, I just let go of something. I think the Lord kind of held on to what I let go in that moment, and my fear was gone, instantly gone. I've never had that experience in my life. And all of a sudden, I just knew I could do it. So I back off the rappel, I do the correct maneuver, and I swing underneath, and I'm just going. I was cooking. I actually was wearing gloves, and my hands were hot through my gloves, and I was having a great time. I got to the bottom, and I was able to, unhook and everything, and I was like, wow. I just committed something major to the Lord. I want to process all of my emotions with Him, and then the Lord gave me a time to do that, and then I was able to do that successfully with Him. Why should you go on a SROM trip? SROM gives you the opportunity to connect both with God and people in the wilderness, unlike anything I've ever experienced before. And being disconnected from our digital world where we always have things vying for our attention, this is a time where you get to intentionally spend to connect with God and connect with those on your course, and it will change your life.